Hey everybody, One Wisdom here. It is 3:30 exactly Saturday afternoon. This is actually early for me, just kind of passing some time. What I'm going to do though is actually come in here as promised. I usually go elementally, alphabetically, and then alphabetical by character. The way it kind of started with the Newlanders getting in the mix, I had originally planned to do the Swappers. Then when Punk Shock and Frino came out, I thought, well, it'd probably be smart to go ahead and do those. Then it slowly kind of curtailed. My nephew got interested in Star Strike, and I've kind of basically up to Magic, and then kind of gonna work my way back and fill in the gaps, I think. So probably, today Scratch Popthorn on the Newlander side of the scale, and then I'll probably go ahead and do Blast Zone, Dark Blast Zone as well, and kind of check out all his paths. But where we're at right now, like I said, is Scratch. I've already brought her in here. She's got enough money to upgrade. Of course, you're gonna need the 9,088, I believe, for a Newlander. But her primary attack, let's just go ahead and come out here. That's what she looks like. Again, if you've forgotten, there's her jumping. Can't fly just yet. She kind of can, actually. But primary attack, it's Cat Scratch. It's going to do... There's a critical number, finally. So I know the formula. I know a lot of people... Spyro557 said, multiply by 3, divide by 2, and then people since then have been saying multiply by 1.5. You have to realize I do all of this like live without a calculator, and that's why some of my math may be wrong sometimes. But for whatever reason, I know 0.5 is half of a number, but for some reason, just the x3 divided by 2, it's quicker for me personally. But anyway, I'd done that thing I don't know how many freaking times, and she never once had a critical number, so I was thinking it would be one of those ones that, maybe it just hit straight up, and apparently it's not. But 29, so 19 to 20. There's another one. What a slap in the face. 19 to 29 is basically what you can just sit here, you can go slow and tap it, and you can just do that all day. Now we're back to the 19s. But literally, if you just slowly press Y, your primary attack button, whatever version you're playing, she'll do that. However, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fairly quickly, on that fifth one, she's actually going to do a little pounce, and it will come in at 38. So just kind of showcase that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 38, that would be what? 90. 114 divided by 2, you'd probably be looking at what? 57, I guess, if you ever saw one. But bottom line, it's very, very quick, very efficient. If you recall, when Scratch first came out, me and my nephew did some battle mode stuff with her. She's a very hard hitter. These aren't huge numbers. You're not seeing like 100 or 125 like you do with the Doomstone, but you have to realize in the time it takes Doomstone to charge up, we can rattle off, at least those 5. Worst case scenario, they're non-critical. 19 times 4 is 76 plus 38. That's going to be, what, 114? So it's one of those things, the speed and precision comes in. Her other primary attack, or secondary attack, base ability, if you will, is called Playful Pounce. Now, this is the one where you shoot a laser out, and then you kind of, she glides, if you will. You can control it. You can go 360 degrees if you want to, but I can bring it in towards her, as you can see, kind of right there, and then I can extend it. Right now, that's as far as it'll go where I've got it, but she can release and do damage that way. Now, what's really cool, she will actually, as you can see, I hone in on the dummies, she'll do 12 to 18 there, and you can just do this all day. Obviously, if you're fighting something other than a weak enemy, or a really horrible PvP opponent, it's not a great strategy, but it's literally you just, as long as you want to hold A, you will do this. Doesn't seem to time out ever. Then when you release, she's going to do 30. That one was hard to see because she went so fast. I'll do it one more time for you. 30. So 45, that's going to be the critical there. Just take my word for it. It would probably, I don't know, it might not take long. But anyway, this is going to be her base upgrade. So in my opinion, she's a very very powerful character just based on her box stock She's one of those ones, if you had to go through the game, totally box stock, she is one that would, at least once she got leveled up and had the health, she's one of those ones that would probably rarely disappoint you. That said, we're going to upgrade her, so she's only going to get better. Bear in mind, all my prices that you're going to see here, they're going to be basically reflective of the 18 wing sapphires for the 36% off. First purchased upgrade is her tertiary attack here on the Wii U. It runs 320. Press X to dodge an attack and knock away all enemies in an area around you. Now this is going to be interesting, just the dodge aspect. I don't know what it's going to do here in the training grounds. It's kind of what I'm wondering, but probably won't work well with chompies, but in the arena challenges, when we see the greebles, this will be one of those things. If one was about to hit me, I assume she's either going to go up into the air or like sidestep it dramatically or something like that. But I guess the best way to find out is to buy it, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright, pay attention to the way she looks as well. Every time we purchase them, you can kind of see her. But what we have next is Silver Claws. Gain new silver claws that deal increased damage. Price is $4.48. Again, hopefully you paid attention to her there. She just showed you her claws right there. So here's what they're going to look like now. I assume they'll be silver. I don't know for sure. Kind of look the same, but yeah, that looks exactly the same as when she raised up beforehand. Press X and hold X. Yeah, we may do Whirlwing last. Silver Mask. Gain a new silver mask. Hold A to shoot a powerful new laser at the ground, released to do devastating pounce attack that does increase damage. Price is $7.68. We'll go ahead and we can get that because we basically got a really well-rounded set in this case. Now that did change her mask, noticeably. The claws, to me, I guess they could have changed. Maybe they are silver, but I mean, they're the least radically changed, if you will. Now, what I like about this, she had great primary and secondary attacks. Then in her upgrades, we're first hit with the tertiary. Silver Claws upgrades the primary. Silver Mask upgrades the secondary, and then Whirlwing, when we go in there and buy it, that upgrades the tertiary. So that's like an ideal situation in terms of base upgrades, in my opinion. You hit 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 comes in again, and it's covered 2 times, just like primary and secondary. So not everyone agrees with that logic, but I do, and I'm the one making the video, so that's what we will talk about. Now, we'll come right in here with Silver Claws. Is what we'll test first. It'll just makes sense to me to do that. We were doing 19 to 29 and then 38, so let's see what she's doing now. 22, not a radical change, but you've got to realize 22 times 5 is 110. So let's go ahead now and rattle off our 5th hit. So 44, so that's not too shabby. So 22 to 44, we'll go ahead and pin that in. 22 claws, 44, I'll go ahead and call that the 5th hit. Alright, I think Silver Mask will also be easy to showcase. Let's go ahead and do that. Again, we were doing 12 to 18, 30 to 45. I don't think it said anything about doing increased damage from the laser. We are though. 15 to 23, that's pretty sweet. And 40. So, the Silver Mask, 15 to 23, laser, 40 to question. I'm assuming 40 will be our standard number. Let's go ahead and double check. Yeah, so 40, 81, 20 divided by 2. We'll go ahead and pin in 60 there. On the claws, the 22, 44, those will have critical numbers. What I'll do to try to keep these videos shorter in the weird cases where I can't get critical numbers to come up or I don't feel like doing the math, I'll just have it on the spreadsheet later. But so far so good. I mean, she's taken what were already, pretty respectable damage numbers across the board and increased them. Actually, I'm an idiot for coming in there. We have to do her tertiary. I think you could totally buy Whirlwing. I don't want to chance it since I'm just explicitly trying to document this stuff. The good news is I do have a second scratch, so if I screw something up, we can double check there. But wing sparks is what we bought. Dodge and then knock away all the enemies around you. So let's just go ahead and press X. Okay, yeah, so it's literally she like flies up into the air. Let's see if it does damage here. 50. Okay, that's pretty crazy there. So she theoretically, and you saw the critical number, so wing sparks is dodge up, which hopefully you'll know what I mean by dodge up. That's basically she's flying up. And then 50 to 75 explosion. Alright, so now that we got that covered, I feel good about buying Whirlwing. Theoretically, we can't like push a button and fly with her, but with the laser and with the tertiary, she technically is flying. It's just not like you're used to with Whirlwind or something where you just press the button and you're in the air and can move around quicker. That said, her final base upgrade, at least the way we bought them, is going to be Whirlwing. 576 is the price. Hold X to pull enemies into a massive whirlwind and do damage to all of them caught inside. I don't know that we can fully showcase this here, but we'll figure something out. Alright, now right here you have to pick a path. If you don't know, back out. There's people like me that make videos. You know, I'm going the extra mile. I'm showcasing every single upgrade, each and every path, and I'm documenting the damage numbers for you. So, probably your best bets right there. Anyway, maybe she'll go ahead and do that. Let's just see what it looks like before we try to get numbers on it. So, that was just me pressing X. Just like we had there with wing sparks. So now I'm gonna hold X. Okay, that looks crazy. I mean, that looks like something that should not be a base upgrade. It'll damage everyone inside. I wonder if there's still an explosion. Let's go ahead and see if it doesn't. Oh, good grief. So 17 to 26, and apparently I can just hold this however long I want to, which is insane. And then let's see what happens if I release it. I don't know if there will be an explosion or not. And note the sheep, they like get sucked into that and get sheared. We'll do that one and then I'll go ahead and see what happens. And the explosion, that is crazy. So 17 to 26, I'm going to put perpetuate. Again, that's however long you want to hold it. And then 50 to 75 on the explosion. So that is some serious numbers right there. Nonetheless, though, what's awesome, we don't have to go to an arena challenge, so very cool in that regard. Scratch, my nephew will continue to be impressed by her. Again, he's a big fan of cats, but she is ridiculous. Again, I love the layout. You got your primary and secondary box stock. Each one is addressed, and then the tertiary is introduced first, and the tertiary is also addressed. She's currently doing things that many Skylanders don't do when they're fully upgraded with a soul gem. So that could mean one of two things. Either A, she'll turn out to be an absolute beast. Her paths look fairly similar. But B, the other option is the paths will be incredibly pathetic and we won't like them. Me personally, I'm hoping for the former and that she will be a beast down either path. But we'll have to take those and find out. That said, it's kind of hard to distinguish between the two. You've got Ruby Path. It begins, you've got a critical hit chance. Sapphire starts with speed. If I just had one, I would go with speed. Just for the simple fact that I've done the critical hit upgrade things before in this game, and I don't really see much of a difference. Speed, you sometimes don't see much of a difference, but it's at least there and tangible. You know, it's not like some crapshoot or something. Then the Ruby Path, you do increased damage with the claw attack, and then you're apparently going to slash through when you release, whereas the Sapphire increases claw damage, and then you're going to shoot a vortex that pulls enemies into it. Again, I give a personal edge just based on the pictures and the descriptions to the Sapphire Path. So that's 2 out of 3. That's enough to take it. But Ruby Mask, you're going to hold your secondary to shoot a laser at the ground that damages enemies in a larger area. That could be super effective. It sounds like I'm doing Pokemon stuff now. Ruby, Sapphire, super effective, but enemies are unable to battle. Sapphire Mask, though, on the flip side of that, you're going to hold attack, or the A button, if you will, and it will slow enemies. So she's probably a character, I say this all the time, but I don't think either one of these paths will be bad. It ultimately comes down to which one you prefer on a personal level, but she is a character probably very well worth having to take down both paths. So if you're a Scratch fan and you think, man, Ruby Path's great, wish I knew what Sapphire's like, I'm going to show that to you, but I'll also go ahead and tell you she's probably one of those ones, if she appeals to you, you probably wouldn't go wrong picking up a second figure. So nonetheless, this was her base upgrades. It was kind of nice. It didn't take extremely long to get through this one, mainly because we didn't have to go to an arena challenge. But going to come right back in. Again, what I'm going to do is take the Sapphire Path with this unboxed one. Again, I do that. I try to stage it to where if I just had one character, which path would I take? For me, Sapphire would be great because number one, I like speed over critical hit. Number two, based on her tertiary attack, if this vortex is something similar, that would be cool. However, Ruby Rage, where you slash through enemies, might be more impressive. And then Ruby Mask versus Sapphire Mask. I'd probably prefer the Ruby Mask, but the Sapphire Mask slowing the enemies probably ties in well with the vortex that you get with it as well. Plus, again, as I've said since the beginning of time in Skylanders, if there's armor or speed down a path, 9 times out of 10 I am going to lean towards that path. I realize they've injected critical hit here, but like I said, my personal experience thus far with the critical hit increases is they're basically meaningless, at least to me. Some people may like them or appreciate them. To me, it's just kind of like a dud. Now, if Sapphire gave the speed and Ruby gave her increased armor, I would be on cloud 10 right now. That would be insanely crazy, but as is, I think it'll work out well. We'll just kind of take both of them and see which one we like. But tentatively, again, without knowing how they either perform, I would lean towards Sapphire, and I would feel confident with that. But that said, that's what I'm going to do, is take the Sapphire Path, come back for that. Take the link at the top of the video description box. You will go to a post dedicated solely to Scratch, and she is quite impressive. As I mentioned, you'll see the spreadsheet with the damage numbers for her base upgrades, Sapphire and Ruby Path. You'll see the base upgrade video, and then of course videos for the 2 other paths. So again, thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. That will keep you up with all the latest as I continue to release these Skylander upgrade videos. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here shortly.